Boom. Okay, here's how we're gonna start it off. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a big fan of Naughty Dog and you were looking forward to their spin-off game based in the Last of Us universe that was an always online live service multiplayer factions spin-off, it got canceled, and we have new details on why. And to make matters worse, this shit a little too loud. And to make matters worse, apparently it was canceled right when it was about to be revealed. I read it was like 80% done. Last of Us Online was canceled 24 hours before the public reveal. The director of the canceled Last of Us Online title recently opened up about how he was informed about the cancellation the day before the reveal. For those unaware, the Last of Us Online project, also known as Factions, was canceled in 2023 as Naughty Dog shifted its focus to single-player titles. Was it 2023? Why do I feel like that was last year? God damn, that made me feel a little... Former PlayStation executive Yoshida thought it was great when he played it too. Now the director of the canceled title has provided some insight into what transpired. Last of Us Online was canceled after 7 years of development. During an interview on the Lanta E podcast from Tokyo, Last of Us Online's director shed some light on how the game was canceled. Agarwal, who first spoke first spoke about the boom in the gaming industry during COVID, noting that online games experienced a significant boost around 2020. Which is when Sony, like all others, decided to put a lot of money into online gaming. I need a sip of water after this shit. Saying his name made me just fucking trip up. Yeah, I need some milk, man. Oh my God. Shit went down the wrong pipe. I'm literally dying right now. Oh my God. I'm fine. This is how Last of Us Online was able to secure its funding. The director stated that the game was doing really, really well internally, with the team developing to almost 80% completion. It was very close to done. However, over the next couple of years, as people started returning to their offices, spending on online gaming dropped significantly, which led to the studio reducing their project as well. Did you hear that? Fuck my sinuses. My sinuses aside, did you hear that? Most of these live service games are getting greenlit because they just want to make money. They don't care about the quality of the game. The Last of Us Online's faction spinoff sounds like it was a good game, but it got canceled because they were worried it wasn't gonna make enough money. Nothing about the quality of the game. They just said, oh, we don't know how much we'll be able to monetize this shit. That's crazy. The director added that eventually the studio had to make a decision whether to go ahead with The Last of Us Online or to make the next game that Neil Druckmann was directing, which basically led them to picking that game, which was kind of the bread and butter of the studio rather than this experimental game that they were working on. The Last of Us Online director described it as a devastating moment and soul crushing. I think I have the video right here too. Yeah, here we go. Let's listen to the video. It's almost 3 minutes long. Twitter quality.
My own game, I was working on The Last of Us multiplayer, so like a standalone Last of Us multiplayer game. And I've worked on that game for nearly 7 years. So I'd worked on it from 2017 to, 2016 roughly to 2023. Unfortunately, the game got canceled. So what happened was during COVID, the game industry saw a huge growth because everyone was at home.
What up, Royal?
So in 2020, money was flooding into the game industry because people were playing a lot more games all of a sudden because they're at home. What else did they have to do?
Excuse. They told them you can't.
Yeah, and everybody was also trying to be a streamer. It was hard to find a GPU. Everybody was trying to be a YouTuber. Also, everybody was a guru and everything, because this is also when we saw the rise of Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces. Niggas was waking up at 5 a.m. in pajamas, crud still in their eyes, didn't brush their teeth, talking about productivity and how to grow a $1 billion business from their mama's basement. Niggas was doing they was doing pyramid schemes with the what's that shit? The exchange, the foreign exchange and shit, the Forex, yeah. Large groups of people would get inside a rented Airbnb and start chanting shit. It was a weird time, man. 2020 to about 2022 was a weird fucking time. Niggas would be sitting in a fucking clubhouse with a suit on at the top, but at the bottom and they fucking underwear with a pair of Timbs on, talking about productivity and how to grow a business and shit. Yeah, PPP wire funds. That shit was a weird time, bro. I'm telling you, COVID needs a documentary, man, of everything that happened. Like a 5-part documentary that covers different parts. Like one chapter will be about how everybody wanted to be a streamer and a YouTuber. One chapter could be about the Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces. Niggas was doing moaning rooms back then. It'd be mad bitches in a Clubhouse moaning on the fucking mic for $200, bro. I wish I was making this shit. Oh yeah, the rise of the red pill. That could be a chapter right there. Fuck it. The Forex shit. That could be. I'm telling you, we need a COVID documentary. That shit would be fucking funny. But let me get back to this shit, man.
And do anything else.
Not just that, online games specifically saw a huge boost because people wanted to play with their friends. They couldn't see their friends, so they had to play online with their friends. So online games got a huge boon. So Sony, along with all the other, Sony is the owner of Naughty Dog. So Naughty Dog is a first-party company of Sony. Mm-hmm. So Sony decided to put a lot of money into online gaming, like everyone else was. And so that's part of why The Last of Us multiplayer got funding. And
if you're just coming in here, this is the director of the canceled Last of Us faction spinoff multiplayer game. He's explaining why it got canceled.
Got off the ground and we made a lot of progress. And the game was doing really, really well internally. We developed it almost to 80% completion. It was very, very close to done. But then all the forces that pushed the game industry in 2020 were the reasons it started declining in 2022, 2023. So as people returned to the office, suddenly people didn't have as much time to play games. You know, that spending reduced. The economy also went down. And so
I gotta call cap on that shit because the best-selling game of last year was NBA 2K26. Fortnite is still at the top of the charts. I think 15 of the top 20 games on Steam are live service. 9 of the top 10 games on PS5 are live service. So I gotta call cap on that shit. I think they just got cold feet. I think they got cold feet because what they had going against them is it was a sort of a new IP. It was a spin-off IP. And there's the problem with live service games is there's already a ton of juggernauts. That's probably why Marathon is struggling. It's hard to penetrate that live service fandom because people who are addicted to Apex are just going to play Apex. People who are addicted to Fortnite, they're just going to play Fortnite. They're just going to play 2K. They're not getting off fucking Call of Duty. That being said, I think The Last of Us factions would have been okay because although it was a new spinoff IP, if they marketed it correctly, it would have been fine because The Last of Us is a huge game. So I got to call a cap on this. I feel like they just got cold feet. Or maybe their expectations were too high. They wanted to generate billions upon billions and 100 million wasn't enough, I guess. Why aren't you chart watching? I'm not like you, Siggy. I'm not as smart. I got a low IQ.
So all that money that flooded into the game industry was not going to be able to sustain because money was getting pulled out. They had to also kind of collapse the spending they'd spent. Like they overspent basically. Mm-hmm. They were overzealous. Mm-hmm. And so one of the casualties of that was this game I was directing. Basically, at one point,
Marathon is struggling. I wouldn't say struggling is the word, but it's definitely not as successful, I think, as what Bungie wanted. It was expected to be bigger, but I think it's fighting against the fact that it's a much more hardcore game. People were expecting it to be bigger.
Decision had to be made. Make this game or make the next game that Neil Druckmann was directing, the president of the company. And so kind of naturally, you can understand what happened there. Mm-hmm. They had to pick the game that was kind of the sole bread and butter of the studio, rather than this experimental game that I was working on that I believe was going to be really big, but unfortunately couldn't see the light of day. And that was a devastating moment for me because I spent 7 years working on that game. And it was soul crushing. I remember.
Hey, somebody leaked the code, bro. Leaked the build. He said the game was 80% done. That means they got at least a few levels. Come on, man. Leak the build. Come on, we'll look the other way. Hop on the VPN, nigga. Hop on the VPN. just hop on the VPN and put it on GitHub or something. I don't know.
Honestly, finding out that I was the director of the game, and to find out that I was getting canceled 24 hours before it was announced to the public. That's how I found out about the game getting canceled.
That's so cutthroat too, man. You've been working on the game for 7 years. It was 80% done, and 24 hours before it was going to be fully revealed, they're like, axe it. That's got to suck, like, from an artist standpoint. Like, that's your baby. You made something, like, really dope, and it's like, I feel like that type of shit would make me jaded. It's like, all right, man, don't ever forget you're just a cog in the machine. They don't give a fuck about me. That's unfortunate.
And it was just unfortunate. And they have to do that because they have to control the messaging. And
did that hurt you more than being walked out of the office with your box?
10 times more. Because this is something
I
really cared about.
Yeah, you had so much invested in 7 years of investment.
And you remember I was telling you,
investment, yeah.
You remember I was telling you that what inspired me about the games of the 90s was they came from a core inspiration of something from outside of games. I had a core inspiration for this game that drove what happened in the game.
What happened in the game? I wonder if that speaks to, like, the story then. Because, I mean, apparently there was going to be, like, weekly story updates or something like that, man. I actually did look forward to this game because I felt like... I feel like Factions in the original Last of Us was hella underrated. And a lot of people didn't get to play it because it was only on the original PS3 version. And then I think it got ported to the PS4 remaster, but it didn't make it to the PS5 version, I don't think. I remember playing it. It was good. I think that's one of the reasons why I couldn't get into Arc Raiders, because I'm going to be honest. If you played The Last of Us Factions, you played Arc Raiders. Yeah, I said it. But Arc Raiders benefited from the fact that a lot of people didn't play it. So that's why for me, like, it didn't really move me that much. I was like, I kind of played this game already. But yeah, that's your update on The Last of Us's online spinoff Factions, why it didn't come out. If you want to see the full interview, because that was kind of just a snippet. There's a whole hour long. I've been said that. If you want to see the full interview, I will drop the link in the chat because I'm not watching the whole hour. I'm glad somebody clipped the most important shit. Well, not the most important, but a key part of it. So yeah, that's the podcast right there. It's crazy. It only got 2,000 views. What else I got for ya? I always feel like this shit is too damn loud. Can't believe these dudes really thought they weren't gonna be able to sustain the rise of the gamers. They would have been fine, I think. Oh, Steam Deck 2 is targeting a 2028 release date, it's claimed. A tech insider has claimed that Valve could release the Steam Deck in 2028 unless it's delayed by memory shortages. Valve's handheld PC proposition, the Steam Deck, was released all the way back in 2022, and since then we've only seen one refresh of the device, an OLED version that released in 2023. Most recently, we saw the handheld device go out of stock for several markets, and Valve quietly ended the production of the LCD model. Now we finally have some new information for the Steam Deck 2. The latest claims from the Steam Deck 2 release window come from Kepler L2's recent post on NeoGAF, which is a very popular nerd forum for like industry insiders. When asked whether it would be 2029 before we see the next iteration, the insider responded stating that as far as he knows, Valve is targeting 2028. However, the whole RAM situation could delay it, Ramageddon, as the entire gaming industry seems to be suffering from memory shortages, and the existing Steam Deck has been impacted by it too. However, the insider explained that there might be a silver lining with the Steam Deck 2 if it gets delayed further, as Valve's device is not built on a semi-custom SoC like the PlayStation 6 and Project Helix. It means that manufacturers could upgrade it as time goes on, and it could end up having better specs if it's delayed. Valve also stated earlier this year that it would be reassessing pricing for the Steam machine as the global memory shortage continues in 2026. There's a typo in the title for like YouTube. Man, you'll be all right. I feel like this is believable. It's been a while since it's been like 4 years since the Steam Deck came out. I feel like 2028 is believable. Actually, I hope it is, because that's only 2 years away. That means that gives me more reason not to buy the Steam Deck. So now when anybody asks me, they're like, TBH, why you ain't buy a Steam Deck? Why you ain't buy that shit, bro? Man, they said it's coming. The Steam Deck 2 coming in 2028. That shit gonna make me mad, bro. I don't want to buy it and have it for a year and a half, and then they drop it even better when it's like 10 times more powerful. So I think I'm gonna just wait for the Steam Deck 2 to come out, and then when that come out, I'm gonna lie about that too. I'm gonna be like, I don't know, man. Like, I think the 3 about to come out, man. So would it be less powerful than the Steam machine still, right? I don't know. That is a good question. I don't freaking know. Can the T Grizzly server run on the Steam Deck too? Hey, you're asking the real questions, man. So that's a quick little update. Keep in mind that it is a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. Nothing is concerned. Nothing is confirmed. What is confirmed is State of Decay 3 is real. And the playtest is coming later this year. Undead Labs dropped a major positive update on the long-awaited State of Decay game on Friday, revealing that players will get their hands on State of Decay 3 with the launch of alpha playtest coming in May. State of Decay 3 was announced nearly 6 years ago, with news about the co-op zombie survival game coming intermediately. The latest update from Undead Labs helps explain why. We got a video. Fuck all this reading shit, bro. Come on, fucking low, bitch. Yeah, it's been 6 years. Goddamn. I'm not gonna lie, I've never played State of Decay. Like, it just never appealed to me, but I know it has a big cult-like following. Yo, shout out to Nihilist with the sub. I appreciate you. Hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube.
Any survivors out there? Is this thing working? Can you hear me? This is Brant Fitzgerald from the Undead Labs Enclave in Seattle, and I'm broadcasting this message to the State of Decay community to give you an update on State of Decay 3.
Is it coming to PlayStation? That's what I want to know. This is one of those big Xbox games that kind of disappeared because it's been 6 years, but I'm curious, is this coming to PlayStation? What y'all think?
Years, most of the team's been doing updates for State of Decay 2. The rest of us been creating cool for State of Decay 3. We've been keeping a close eye on what you liked about State of Decay 2 and what you didn't. We've read your feedback on Discord. We've watched your game.
The VOD from yesterday? It doesn't exist. I didn't stream yesterday.
Just got 3 in 1, baby.
And through it all, we've seen how powerful and tight-knit this community is.
That's all you got to do, guys.
It became clear the community is survival and that we need your help. And if you've made it this far, great, because starting next month, we'll be hosting a series of alpha playtests with the community.
This shit is so funny right here. Like, I guarantee you there was somebody watching this State of Decay 3 reveal and just foaming at the fucking mouth. Like, how dare they announce this game? We've been waiting 6 years and they showed us woke-ass garbage. Look at all these multicultural characters. Where are the white men? And like, to that I would say, do you know how racist you have to be to think that only white men would be able to survive the zombie apocalypse? Like, sometimes stereotypes and racism is beneficial in the sense that, like, the stereotype for black people is like we're faster and we're stronger, right? So like, imagine being so racist to think that a zombie apocalypse happens and then all your racism stereotypes goes. So now we're no longer fast and strong. You just think that you're just the only one that's gonna survive, right? This shit is fucking funny to me. And somebody's watching this probably like, it's not that deep. It is that deep. Somebody did do it. This is woke. Look at this shit, bro. It's a fucking zombie apocalypse. It's some bullshit pops off. You're gonna hang with whoever fucks with you. It's not that serious, guys. Yeah, where's the Nathan Drake?
I'm not going to spoil the surprise for you, but I can say that it will feature 4-player co-op, some new base building and resource strategies, and a whole lot of combat. If scavenging supplies in the middle of a zombie outbreak sounds fun to you, then grab your ruck, pack some mags, and head over to our website to find more information and register for a chance to be included in the alpha. If you don't get contacted for this round, don't worry. We'll keep your name on the list and have plenty of other opportunities for you throughout the year.
This is one of those games where you have that one person in your friend group who tries to get you to play for a week. Yeah, that's ethos in my friend group. That one friend who swears it's the next big great game. He spends like a month convincing you to buy it. You finally buy it and then they never play it.
We'll be sharing more updates like this throughout development to keep you up to date on what's new, what we're learning, and let you know about more
and those friends are the fucking worst, man.
Opportunities to join the fun.
All right, so what's the alpha
Again,
play
for your
test?
support and your patience over the years. We cannot wait to share more information about State of Decay with you. Remember,
Shout out to J Soul with the subs. Appreciate it.
oh God.
All right, what's the link? If you want to sign up for the playtest, I am dropping the link in the chat. Should drop in both sides. Somebody in the chat just asked me about that Slay the Spire mod, the multiplayer one. It was on Nexus mod. I forgot what it was called. Oh, here it is. You're lucky it's still in my history. It is called Slay the Player, the multiplayer mod. Here you go. I'll drop it in the chat for the Slay the Spire. If you don't know what this is, this mod allows you to play your friends and Slay the Spire. Every time there's a boss fight on the map, you play your friends instead. I think like to the best of 3. I dropped the link in the chat. Y'all friends just don't love y'all for real? Nah, that's cap. Everybody got that one person in their friend group who swear they about to play the hell out this game and then they just disappear. They do that shit on fucking purpose too. Speaking of Slay the Spire, perfect timing. Slay the Spire 2 dev teases a bunch of cool new features. In a lengthy interview with PC Gamer, Megacrit's co-founder dissed on all things Slay the Spire. Yano comments on recent events like the one some newer team members were apparently taken aback by the fan backlash to a card tweak. There's also fun tidbits in the interview like the fact that Ironclad and the Regent are generally tied when it comes to win rates. Wait, so Ironclad and Regent are top tier characters? Yano also reveals that he's a fan of the controversial Snakebite card and suggests that other people just haven't figured it out yet. The juiciest parts of the interview, however, are also its Vegas. There are 3 specific things I have in mind, Yano told PC Gamer in reference to potential new modes. Yo, shout out to Burton with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. I usually don't play games like Pragmata, but the demo will be fire. I'm pre-ordering. True. Shout out to Pragmata, and I appreciate you the super chat. Yano continued, the first one is a mode that is meant for people who want to play in a very competitive fashion. Wait, are they going to implement PvP into the base game without needing a mod? Potentially, maybe. The second is for people who want the Slay the Spire experience but not have the time to do so. Maybe like a smaller map. And then the third one is, what if there were other ways to interact in a social or a multiplayer kind of setting with the current systems that exist today? Yano does caution that while Megacrit has sketched out specific design ideas for these modes, the studio is still experimenting. We don't want to just make a bunch of things and be like, here's 25 game modes. In terms of new characters, Yano also similarly vague on what players can expect, but he did describe how Megacrit approaches the challenge. The creator emphasizes the studio doesn't come up with general character ideas and then tries to find mechanics to work with that concept. Instead, the team applies a more design-oriented, mechanics-based approach and then tries to conceptualize a potential card pool for the archetype. While it sounds like the designers are in the thick of making more characters, Yano is hesitant to describe any of them. The developer notes that in the past, Megacrit has something toyed with a character idea for a long time, only to cut it. But if players can expect one thing, it's characters with more complexity. Interesting. More content is coming, which is good because I know when this first came out, the main critique I saw coming from people who played the first game is the second game is too much like the first game. Apparently even like it had some of the same cards, the main difference between the first and the second game is the second game has co-op, 4-player co-op, so you can play with your friends. And I think some people felt like that wasn't enough of a change in the formula. But you got to keep in mind this game launched in early access. It sounds like they're planning to launch more content throughout the year and maybe next year. So probably this time next year, the game will look completely different. Just keep in mind, you bought into early access. You should know what comes with that. And they're working. It sounds like the game is going to get better than me. And we welcome it. We welcome it because I'm fucking with the game. Yeah, I remember when Metacritic gave 2K a 92. What year was that? I don't know what year that was. Street Fighter DLC character Ingrid teased. Capcom has released a teaser trailer for Street Fighter's downloadable character Ingrid. Is this the new character? I've never heard of Ingrid. Teaser? This is a minute-long trailer. Hold up. Is she from a previous game? I don't remember this character. She was in Alpha 3. I don't remember her.
Completely uninhabited.
The audio's still playing.
This world is supposed to be completely uninhabited.
No one wanted her back. I'm saying, You want to get me back on Street Fighter? Where the fuck is Dudley, man? The Dudley disrespect is crazy. We haven't had Dudley since Street Fighter 4. God damn.
Odd, though. How did a Terran like you end up in a whole other world?
Trying to box a nigga up, bro.
Monoid! Oh, I thought I'd never, ever, ever see you again. Curiouser and curiouser. Boom. Now I understand. Touching this monoid has linked our fates.
This looks like a fucking Elden Ring character. What the fuck am I looking at, bruh? This zippity doodah ass bullshit. Where's Dudley?
Maybe we should revisit this another time. Not that you'd understand anyway. But for now, we should be able to send you back.
Shout out to Gamer World with the sub.
Simply put, since you're now the sole occupant of this wide and empty world, if I consign said world to oblivion, you should remain totally free from harm.
Ingrid is coming in late spring.
Now, this is not
I don't even know what kind of character this
as
is.
long as our fates are linked, we can meet again. Should you wish to do so, seek out my monoids. Until next time, sayonara.
Dudley, my boy, but what about Sean? I remember Sean. I will accept Sean. I gotta see some gameplay, but this doesn't really move me off first rip, the first impressions. Sean was in 5, unfortunately. That's what I'm saying. We're overdue for Dudley, man. We're overdue for Dudley. New Ninja Turtles game coming. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Empire City launches. Wait, it's a VR game, virtual reality action game. What the freak? Let me look at.
Remind me.
Does anybody want to be a VR turtle? How do Street Fighter fans feel about Street Fighter 6 overall? Last time I checked, and I could be wrong, but like Street Fighter 6 is in a healthy spot. Like there's still a lot of people playing it.
Remind me where we left off.
It's the Tekken community that hates their game.
Leader of the Japanese branch of the Foot Clan.
It's worth hearing around.
According to Karai's spies, the Foot are working on a secret weapon, a big one.
This is gonna get weird.
Karai's intel points to
Control dropped the new dev diary.
in the
Bet.
quarantine zone. There's pizza on the table. Do what you gotta do and head out.
You could probably get the drop on him from up top. Where's the fun in that? Fine, going hot.
Would y'all play this?
Idea how hard it is to be intimidating when it's just me.
I'm good at this. Just wanted to know if you've seen the Mario movie yet. My girlfriend asked me to go. I want to know if it's worth it. Yeah, I saw it yesterday. It's off stream.
Man, I'm gonna play this off stream, man.
I put a review on Twitter. Y'all gotta follow me on social media. I put my review on Twitter. I give it like a 5 or a 6. Like I think I like the first one better. It's not a 0 out of 10 like the Times said, but it's also like it's like fans rated it like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not no 92% or whatever either. I think I like the first one better. But if you want to, I dropped the link. I put my in-depth thoughts on Twitter. You said, damn, really? I was low-key kind of hyped for it. I would define the movie as not trash. It's just something to watch. It's just something to watch. That's what I would call it. Here's my review I put. Follow me on fucking social media, man. Yeah, I put some in-depth thoughts there. I don't get on the right app. I follow you on Blue Sky though. Oh yeah, Blue Sky kind of died, bro. The CEO stepped down. They killed the app, man. They pissed off a lot of people because of the things that made it special. They kind of abandoned it and became diet Twitter. And it's like, okay, well then everybody just went back to Twitter. They kind of fucked themselves. Shout out to Taco Ninja with the sub, appreciate it. And then I think they catered too much to people who just wanted an echo chamber as well. Like you do have to allow some level of freedom of speech. It's just Twitter takes it too far because they allow a lot of racism and dumb shit. Twitter's weird, bro. I follow on Insta. Yeah, the problem with Instagram is you can't post text there. They have threads, but real niggas is not on threads. Man, what the fuck? It's all good. I posted it in the chat, so you know I posted it there. The fans didn't give it a 92% of fans just liked it. Oh, that's what it means. So it could be anything from a 6 to a 10, basically. Do people still use threads? Last time I checked last year, it's actually growing. So yeah, it's still alive. And last but not least, this came across my For You page. I thought this was interesting for anybody who's super big into indie games. Indie Pass, the subscription for indie games, is coming April 13th. For $6 a month, and there's annual sub options, you get unlimited access to 70 plus titles, and the revenue is distributed based on player time spent inside the game. Indie Pass, oh, they have a trailer. Let's see, indiepass.com. Let's check it out.
Hey, looking for your next favorite indie game? Let me show you something cool. Indie Pass is a subscription service just for indie games. It's got some
where my charcuterie board gamers at? Little salami, little cheese, little crackers.
For everyone. Whether you're looking to strategize, battle it out, or kick back and get cozy. For less than the cost of an average game at retail, you get access to tons of amazing...
Yeah, it's I mean, if you're super into indie games, depending on the selection, $55 for a year, because you save 33%. You get a lot of games.
Game at retail. You get access to tons of
the Costco sample gamers.
Genre. Play as many games as you want, for as long as you want. Getting started is super easy. Just click the subscribe button, download the launcher, and you're ready to play. It's that simple.
I'm just curious to how anybody's making any money off of this.
Indie Pass launches globally on April 13th. Head to indiepass.com to learn more.
I don't want to pay for Doom clones. Oh shit. Hey, I seen a couple people in the chat said they're interested. You never know. There might be some bangers on here, man. I mean, try it out for a month and you see. I'm gonna drop the link.